Okay, one question I wanted to figure out is that, like, you got any, how'd you ever got the inspiration, like, other than, like, TV shows and your father, that, like, they, like, all just came to you, or how did this ever
Some
happen?
of the voices come to me, yeah, like you had said, some of them do come to me, and when I read like what a character is, sometimes that's just what comes to mind. I can't explain my technique exactly because I've been doing it for so long since I was 9 years old practically, and
Oh,
it's just so automatic that I hear what a character sounds like, and my brain just tells my vocal cords what to do, and it comes out. I don't know how to explain the technique anymore.
uh, that's pretty cool. So, right now you're in, like, you pretty much have, like, pretty expensive equipment, if I'm correct, with doing your whole voicing and
Yes,
music recording. So, what program do you use?
the voice manipulating program that I use is called Earbox, and this is what I also use for my instruments. It's styled for musicians to use because it makes everything mostly stomp pedals, and it has dials that you turn, and you can also type in the volumes and all the variables that you want to change it to, and I can make myself echo whenever I want. I can make myself have also a different kind of echo that just repeats what I say, and that can go on forever. I can also change the pitch of my voice in real time, and I can make it whatever I want. I can make it really high, and then I can also change the size of the room to make it sound like I'm backstage in the studio or be right up next to you, and almost as if we're in the same room. It's also got a wah pedal. Wah, 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 wah.
Wow. And, like, how much did all that cost?
Well, the tone port itself is pretty cheap nowadays. I use a tone port UX1. That costs like $89.99 to $100. It comes with Gearbox. The most expensive piece of equipment that I have is my microphone, which is a Rode NT2A condenser microphone, which is $350 plus tax. And then if you tack on the phantom power supply that I had to use because the Toneport UX1 does not have phantom power built in. That's another $50. So I spent about $400 on the microphone alone. And I have a $20 mic stand to hold it because it's a lot easier to voice act and change where I am when I have the microphone stationary.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of money. And you pretty much, how'd
Oh
you
yeah.
even, like, what, like, did your parents bought it, or you had to do it yourself?
All the really expensive stuff my parents bought. My mom bought me the microphone. My father bought me the laptop that I use. My mom also bought me the tone port for Christmas one year. My dad bought the mic stand, and I bought the phantom power supply.
Wow. So pretty much, you know, you gotta thank your parents for that part.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. So, is there anything else you would like to say before I, end this vid?
Oh yeah. I'll give a couple pro tips as they call them.
Alright.
I would say number one when I'd say number one when it comes to auditioning, never audition for parts that you don't want. Because if you get those parts, they become an obstacle instead of a role because you don't want to do the part, and then you have to do it because that just so happens to be the part that you get. And that could be a problem in your career because then if you do bad in one, then you've done bad in all of them because then your producer will say, well, he kind of did shitty for me. And then, people are going to start talking about you, and that's not good really early in your career. You want to save the bad parts for when you're already made it, and like there's already people coming to you. Then you can take parts that you don't even like and be like, fuck it. And then after that, another very important thing is get your voice quality to the maximum that you can. Find noise gate plugins for anything, or silencers or noise suppressors, anything that you can find that's either free or a plugin or anything like that. Try to get it on your computer or find a way to put it into your microphone. You want to be as quiet as possible, but still be able to hear, and without it sounding like you're using it. And practicing using them is the best way how to do it. And the earlier you start, the better you get later on. And then another big thing is always contact your producers. After you do your lines, even if you think you did really good, always tell them, did I fit the scene? Because even though you might have voice act well for the time, like you thought you did great, when the scene is printed, you might not have done well in the context of the scene. Now, you're a voice actor, so it's very important that you fit the scene because you can't use movements or visual aspects. It's all in your voice. So you've got to really, really nail the scene, and that's very important, and you should always get feedback on that if the producer doesn't get back to you on that. And one last thing.
Oh, no,
What were you
actually,
going to say, Blaze?
No, nothing. Go ahead.
All right. And then the last thing is always have a drink nearby. I'm sure that everybody knows this, but there's still some people that don't. When you want to do any voice, even if it's your regular voice, just keep a drink nearby. You never know when your throat's going to get dry, and if it does, it really does affect your voice, and you should drink something.
Yeah, wow. Actually, I've already been doing that lately.
Yeah.
Just
It
drinking
really does
water right
help,
now.
though.
Yeah, I can really tell. Pretty much my voice is starting to get dry. Anyway, thank you for the tips, Druox, and I really want to thank you so much for being in my show.
Yeah, there was no problem. It's always a pleasure for me to be a part of anything.